in the back. But hey y'all, and welcome to my channel. Today is going to be like this chit chat. Get ready with me while I do this Cancer makeup, and I'm going to be doing kind of like a crispina chat. Hope you like it, and like and subscribe if you like what you see. It's really hard for me to talk and do my brows. For the first time on my channel, I'm going to be switching it up, and because I'm going to be doing a chit chat, get ready with me. I've already done that, but this is going to be on a specific topic: how to identify and cope and deal with dead relationships. I really never have time to do my makeup, so I was like, you know what, girl, you're putting this off. So I just made myself get up. I've been doing like this series for horoscope makeup since last Libra season. Link to my makeup Instagram. But yeah, I literally know how I am when it comes to like lining my eyebrows, and I just can't talk. Like, what a dead relationship can be with anybody. It can be a friend, a boyfriend, a family member. I literally don't mean someone that is deceased. I feel like that would be entirely a whole different realm. I'm doing Cancer makeup, and Cancers are very full of emotion, and I feel like this is something maybe that needs to be talked about a bit more, because if there's one thing I noticed about me, and then just kind of the energy of a lot of people these days, is the whole mindset that you think that you have to stay with someone. It does, but it doesn't matter what type of relationship it is, because this happens in every type of relationship, and I know this because I go through this. That's literally what all I can call it. I tell my little sister this all the time. We're in such a transformative time. I feel like from the age you're 18 to about 25 to 26, we're here, we're there, we're everywhere. We're people, and when I say people, I'm including myself in this, because of course all of this is based off personal experience and slight bias. As people, we put these expectations on other people as if they aren't going through life for the first time as well. Like, I'm just gonna say in layman's terms what I believe to be a dead relationship. A dead relationship is something that is stagnant or never changing. Like, no matter how much you're trying to fix the problem, it's like basically the same thing. I'm covering up these bags because I cannot sit through a full video and look at this. Like, I just tried. I went to school. For those of you that didn't know, I graduated in December. I have my communication degree. In college is when you encounter the most amount of people in such a short amount of time. I know a dead relationship. I can spot a dead relationship. It's because I really can, because I moved a lot as a kid, so I already creases and messes up whenever I do that. So I'm gonna look down. I feel like the biggest thing about a dead relationship, and why some people may not be able to pinpoint it and really see it for what it is, a simple thing called effort. And I know that is one of my quote-unquote toxic traits. I never want to really give up on people. Sometimes not acknowledging that, like, if the problem isn't getting any better and you're not acknowledging it as a person, and I do this a lot, I'm very hard to admit defeat. I will keep trying and trying until I find a way to make something work. And with people, we're not like that. You can't just try to control a situation. You can't just so back to the effort portion. It may not be one-sided 24/7, and you know, roles can be reversed and interchangeable. But for me, once I start getting irritated with somebody, I can't just take the high road all the time. So a dead relationship example for someone like me, I have lost many friends before. Like, I that it's a good thing, but I've definitely lost my fair share of friends. I went through my fair share amount of friends. Not all ended, you know, super negatively and super bad, but a lot of the times the conversation ends with, you know, this isn't working. You know, that's definitely a trigger phrase. This isn't working. I keep trying. This isn't going anywhere. I shouldn't say usually, but in my experience, the pettiness factor goes into the effort. So if you have one person that keeps trying and trying and trying, and they bring it up to you, it starts an argument, and then they keep talking about how they're trying, so then they stop trying, and then because it's not with just friends. And I feel like in college, as an example, because it's literally so prevalent, everyone is on a different path every semester. Every time you go to school, you no longer have classes that you once had with the other person. Things in common that you once had are no longer a thing, so you don't speak to them, or you speak to them less and less. In my case, I literally would just walk past people like we'd never spoken a day in our life. It is the weirdest thing. I know, for instance, I lost like pretty much all of my childhood friends, and a lot of it boils down to dead relationships. Environments change, people change, habits change, expectations change. I mean by a transformative environment. Just trying to make things work for the sake of our feelings and our bonds and all that to other people. But then I just feel like sometimes maybe people don't even understand like literally what's going on. Sometimes whatever fun time you had with someone, it was just that. You just have to cherish the moment that you had with that person, and you gotta just look at it as that. Be a numbers person. Oh well, I've been cool with this person for X amount of years, and then that would be my security. Like, oh my God, we've been cool for this amount of years. There's no way that we could ever fall. A thing that probably could get overlooked. Time never matters. Time literally never matters, and I had to learn that with quote unquote relationships, and a relationship takes two people minimum, and both people have to put in effort. Don't get me wrong, there are people out there, and you know, everyone is entitled to live how they want to live, but there are people out, they don't mind having those 80% 20% relationships, and you know what works for them works for them. And I hate to say it like that, but generally those type of people have other stuff that they're working on. Literally, I'm not here to judge at all. We all have things that need worked on. Over time, you keep having the same conversation in different forms, no matter how many times you keep saying it. One pressing issue, and they, you know what I mean, you keep voicing, and then they kind of take it as a self-attack, and then start to lay out everything that you did. And don't get me wrong, I understand anger. I understand anger more than anyone could ever know. We don't know how to process the emotions in the moment, and things come out like, you know, the same conversation over and over again, and then it gets to a point where the person's basically like, well, just deal with it, or I tried, but like, you're on your own type of, that's definitely a red flag. How you feel, and the other person is neglecting how you feel, and then you keep on trying to push the issue, and the more they're not listening and turning you away is motivating you to keep trying to push them. Understand a person till you walk a mile in their shoes. I feel like in relationships we tend to forget that. We think all because we know this person from our perspective, all because we've spent time with them, we've got this, we know this, we don't need to know anymore. No, they meant this, they meant that. Communication will always be a crazy factor in any relationship. There have been multiple friends that I've lost from dead relationships, and me feeling like they don't put in an equal amount of effort, and no matter how much I try to get that across, they believe from their perspective that they do put in a sufficient amount of effort. Ties and bonds to these people, and it's not so black and white to be able to leave, especially with family. And that's one of the biggest, hardest pills to swallow. It really is. Like, we don't want to believe that any relationship with close family could end up as a dead relationship. Just keep talking about it, and you're not being heard, especially by family members. It's just gonna cause a friction. Sometimes in dead relationships, they're dead because one person knows or is somewhat acknowledging what's going on, but they don't necessarily want it to end. It's like that tiny sliver in faith of hope that hopefully one day something that I'm saying will get through. And don't get me wrong, like sometimes some people just need a little bit of a break. Sometimes people just need to cool down and stuff like that. But if you take that break and then the same or similar stuff is happening, I feel like life shows us lessons through people sometimes, especially quote unquote exes, especially people we vibed with and were super duper cool with, like, and there is a fallout. It's kind of what I mentioned in my depression video. I feel like we're always just kind of like, well, why did this happen? Well, sometimes we're not gonna understand or see it directly, but on a grander scale, most likely if things really aren't working for you with someone, it's probably because that's life trying to warn you. I feel like when I try to go against the current planned out for me, I should say, I feel like that is when things start to go worse in it. Like, there's been multiple times where I forced a situation, I forced a friendship, went back. We've all been there. We've all went back. And then you're just like, oh my God, literally, what was I thinking? this is probably why I wasn't feeling it in the first place. Like, oh my god, this is such a waste that I'm embarrassed. And not to sound like a preacher, but I feel like we always tend to forget as people, like, missing someone or missing something is a part of the healing process. I always try to remember that sometimes it's okay to be logical over emotional. Okay, you're not happy about it, but you can accept it. But think more logically about it. Okay, well, I'm not happy about this, but why did this actually not work? Like, why? I never think that I'm 100% right in any situation. I know it's super cliche, but like, I'm super indecisive and I am very emotional. So when I'm doing something or I'm about to do something impulsive, sometimes I try to make a list to see if I'm just being emotional about it or if I'm right and I'm just not be saying that. That is when the universe will humble you so quick, and before you know it, you're going to be put in a situation and you're going to be upset because whenever you had the free will to exit the situation, you didn't. With me, so just kind of like that slow retreat, you know, whereas you would usually do one action, you're just kind of like, okay, like, and that kind of gives you power because you're reserving your chaos at that point. You're allowing the other person to know what's up non-verbally. The second way I feel like is kind of like an easy way to deal with this. I just call it the rip off the band-aid method. Like, you know what, I said what I said, you don't listen, I have nothing left to give. Crack stack will pop like the cereal, like that's the boom. Like, all right guys, so this is after everything and the finished look. I'm actually kind of mad that it's like late because I want to be able to do more than just look at it and take pictures. But hopefully you guys liked my crispina chat today, and hopefully I was able to either just talk about something relatable or bring to light something that maybe you weren't exactly thinking about before. But thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way here to the end, you're the GOAT. And peep my blue highlight. Thanks for watching, and before you know it, I'll be back with another video.